Hi, David Hall with the weekly Gold and Silver Coin Report. It is Monday, April the 1st, 2013. Don't be an April Fool, right? Okay, and what does that mean? We'll talk about that in a minute. First, the markets. Gold almost exactly the same as last week, about $15.98 an ounce, hovering over and under that $1,600 level. Silver down about 70 cents this week. Platinum way up about 20 bucks this week. Silver at a little under $28. Platinum now about the same price as gold. So what does it mean to be an April Fool? Look, gold and silver haven't done a lot in the last year. Some clients are calling and said, did you hear what happened in Cyprus where they're confiscating bank deposits? Why isn't gold going way up? And silver even went down. Okay, if you bought your gold and silver to make money quick, to make US dollars quick, we can't help you. It's not what we do. It's not what we believe in. That's not why we're here. We're here because there is one trade that's as clear as a bell. And the trade is hedging against the decline in the value of the US dollar. So I think back, the way I get my head on straight about all this is I think back to 1970, because in January and February 1970 was the last time that gold was $35 an ounce. It was $35 an ounce from 1933 to 1970, January and February 1970, and then it has moved up and down, but way up since then. But it's not really that it's moved up. It's the value of the dollar has declined. We have had, through excess government spending and inflation, a dollar devaluation. And if you do the numbers, if you're old enough to remember or do the research, and look at whatever you want to choose, the price of a gallon of gasoline, the price of a first-class postage stamp, the price of real estate. I always look at the house I lived in as a teenager in the 60s, and I look at that chart versus the price of gold. All of the graphs look about the same, including an ounce of gold. That's remained relatively constant. Okay, what has changed, and the only thing that's changed is the value of the US dollar. It's, you know, when I drove as a teenager, gas was 29 cents a gallon. 2 dimes, 3 dimes, I guess. During a gas war, which we used to have, it got down to, I remember, 19.9 cents, 2 dimes. Silver dimes now melt at a little bit over $2 each. That's pre-1965 US 10-cent pieces. They're 90% silver. They sell for a little bit more. We'll talk about those premiums in a minute. But now a gallon of gas is about 2 silver dimes. It really hasn't changed much in the past 40+ years. The gas hasn't changed, the silver hasn't changed, the gold hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is the value of the US dollar. We have had a shadow devaluation. They didn't come to us like they did in France in 1960. They had a 100-to-1 devaluation of the franc. They just chopped off 2 zeros. It was done a little bit differently, slowly over time. But the effect long-term has been the same, and that's what this is about, long-term. And I'm going to repeat it. I say it every once in a while. Gold will be $5,000 to $10,000 an ounce sometime in the next 5 to 10 years. The only way that scenario will be different is if it goes higher and or quicker. And it is, when you look at the value of things in US dollars, anything of substance, including gold and silver, and gas, and real estate, and a postage stamp, it's, to me, the no-brainer financial trade of my lifetime. The only one I've ever seen, the only sure thing, the sure bet. But it's a long-term bet. It's not a short-term bet. If you want some short-term action, you know, go play in the stock market or buy gold penny stocks or do something like that, okay? But long-term, it's as much a certainty as anything I've ever seen in any market. So, how do you participate? Pay attention to premiums when you look at the products. For example, we talked about silver dimes, and it's okay to buy silver dimes and quarters and half dollars. But right now, you should know, this is where our job is, to tell you about the markets. Right now, the premiums on the 90% silver is way up. 6 months ago, I could buy them for around spot from the big wholesalers if I bought quantities. Now, you know, so it's like it's $2 over now. It's big change, okay? So instead of, you can buy silver dimes if you want, but we think a much better buy is either buy the U.S. silver 1 ounce Eagles, or we really like the silver dollars. And I know, look, we've been pounding on it for months, but the fact is that we think they're better right now. That might change. It might come a time when junk silver, as it's called, the 90% dimes, quarters, and halves, are back down to spot. Okay, there you go. But right now, we like the Morgan & Peace dollars, 1878 to 1935, the old-time silver dollars. That's our favorite silver play right now. On the gold side, we like the $20 gold piece, the beautiful St. Gaudens. And yeah, you can buy Eagles, and they're okay too, the 1 ounce gold Eagles. But for the St. Gaudens, you get a little numismatic value, collector value, at almost no premium. They're made 1907 to 1933. So you can buy the uncirculated ones, they look brand new, really. And for a little bit more, you can buy the PCGS graded, higher quality ones for not much more. Rare coins, while gold and silver have been relatively flat, rare coins are smoking hot at the moment. We just mailed out our velvet tray, focusing on silver and gold commemoratives because, frankly, Van and I have taken a very large position because we really believe in the coins and think they're one of the best buys in the marketplace, and we actually have quantities of them. The other coins are rare coins, which is why we haven't sent out a velvet tray price listing in a long time. It's just, they're one-of-a-kind items, and you know, by the time our price list goes to the printer and everything, half of the coins are sold. They're flying out the door. But check our website. Check the price listings at davidhall.com, because we get new coins in every day, literally. But you know, call Van quickly, because the stuff is kind of flying out the door. Rare coin market, very hot right now. In terms of gold or silver, think long term and have fun with your coins. Don't buy bonds, buy gold.